Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Monday, June 15th, and I am running on 3 cups of coffee and 0 sleep. Just furiously typing this out before my deadline because Salem is literally exploding right now, and I need to talk about it. So let's just dive right into the madness. So let's start with the absolute mess that is the DiMera mansion right now, because things are getting so incredibly complicated. And I am just sitting here trying to process all of it. We have EJ DiMera and Cat Greene, and they are hanging out, just watching the Cubs game on TV, trying to have a normal afternoon. But nothing is normal in Salem, because suddenly the camera pans to the crowd at the game, and the kiss cam flashes on the screen. And who is sitting there in the stands? Chad DiMera and Belle Black, just totally making out for the entire stadium to see. And you have to understand how awkward this is, because Cat is Chad's ex, and EJ is Belle's ex. So they are both sitting there on the couch, watching their former flames locking lips on national television. And EJ's face? Oh my God. It was absolutely priceless. He looked like he wanted to throw his drink at the screen. He has this massive ego, and seeing Belle so happy with his own brother is just rubbing salt in the wound. But EJ is EJ, so he doesn't just sit there and pout. He pivots hard. He immediately decides to use this moment to his advantage, because he has been trying to figure Cat out for weeks. So he turns on the DiMera charm, and he starts moving in on Cat, trying to pull her closer, trying to make her forget all about Chad. And the spoilers are saying that EJ is going to make her a very tempting offer. He is laying it on so thick, whispering sweet nothings, using all that smooth talking that he learned from his father Stefano. But the real question is whether Cat is going to hit the brakes, because we all know she is hiding a massive secret. She is an ISA agent. She is running a deep cover operation on EJ. And her own brother, Mark Greene, is working in EJ's lab. So she is surrounded by DiMera drama. And Rafe Hernandez is already breathing down her neck. Rafe is so worried that Cat is actually catching real feelings for EJ. And watching her ex make out with Belle might just be the push she needs to actually sleep with EJ, just to prove a point, or maybe to secure her cover. I don't know, but it is messy, and I am here for it. And speaking of Chad and Belle, can we just talk about how cute they are? Because I know some people are still missing John Black. I am missing John Black, but Belle deserves to be happy. And Chad deserves to be happy after everything he went through with Abigail. They had this amazing day at the baseball game, just eating hot dogs and cheering for the Cubs. And they had Thomas and Charlotte with them. The kids looked so incredibly happy to just be out doing normal kid things instead of dealing with kidnappings and evil twins. And after the game, Chad and Belle get some alone time. And it leads to even more romance, more kissing, just this really sweet, pure connection. But of course, it can't last, because this is Days of Our Lives. So they are immediately thrown into a new mystery. And this mystery is a big one, because it involves Stefano DiMera. Even from beyond the grave, the Phoenix is still causing trouble. So earlier, Theo Carver and Chad were looking at this old chess set that Stefano left behind. And Theo picked up one of the pieces, and a ring fell out. Just a random, mysterious ring, hidden inside a chess piece. And now Chad and Belle are teaming up to figure out what it means. They are going on a full-blown investigative mission, and I love this for them. Belle is a lawyer. She is smart. She knows how to dig up information. And Chad knows how his father's twisted mind worked. So what is the ring? Is it a key to a safety deposit box? Is it a clue to some hidden DiMera fortune? Or is it a trap? Because Stefano never did anything without a reason. And I have this sinking feeling that this ring is going to lead them right into the middle of something dangerous. But while Chad and Belle are playing detective, things are getting incredibly dark across town. Because Paulina Price is on a warpath. And you do not want to get in the way of Paulina when her family is hurting. Chanel has aggressive breast cancer. She is pregnant. And she is terrified to get treatment because she doesn't want to hurt the baby. And Paulina is just frantic. She is watching her daughter suffer. And she is desperate. So she zeroes in on EJ. Because Paulina knows that EJ has access to Dr. Rolf's crazy science. She thinks EJ has some kind of miracle drug that can cure Chanel's cancer without harming the baby. And she is not taking no for an answer. She corners EJ. She demands the drug. She is literally begging him. But EJ does the unthinkable. He flat out refuses. He tells Paulina he can't help her. And then he literally runs away. He just bolts from the conversation. And Paulina is left standing there, absolutely furious. She thinks EJ is just being a typical, selfish, heartless DiMera. She thinks he is hoarding this cure and letting her daughter die. So what does she do? She goes straight to Johnny and Chanel, and she starts pressuring them. She tells Johnny that he needs to go confront his father. She thinks if Johnny and Chanel beg EJ themselves, he will cave. Because Johnny is his son, and EJ loves Johnny. So Paulina is basically weaponizing Johnny to get this drug. And it is so hard to watch, because Johnny is already so overwhelmed. He is terrified of losing his wife. And now his mother-in-law is screaming at him to go fight his dad. But here is the massive, horrific truth that Paulina doesn't know. EJ isn't being selfish. EJ is actually trying to save Chanel's life by saying no. Because the miracle drug, it's the Versavix serum. The exact same serum that Dr. Rolf used to bring Lexie Carver back from the dead. And it is completely 100% lethal. EJ knows this. Because Mark Greene found one of the lab rats dead in its cage. It died of massive, sudden organ failure. The serum is unstable. It is toxic. And worse than that, Lexie is already showing symptoms. Lexie is stumbling around. She is dizzy. She is having these terrifying neurological episodes. The resurrection is failing. And Lexie is probably going to die all over again. And EJ is sitting on this secret. He is terrified. So if EJ gives that drug to Chanel, it won't cure her cancer. It will kill her. It will cause her organs to shut down. And it will kill his unborn grandchild. EJ knows this. That is why he ran away from Paulina. Because he can't give her the drug. But he also can't tell her why he can't give her the drug. Because if he tells Paulina that the drug is lethal, he has to confess that he used it on Lexie. He has to confess that he funded Dr. Rolf's illegal mad science resurrection project. He would go to prison, and the whole town would turn against him. So he is trapped. He is completely backed into a corner, and he is just panicking. And honestly, as much as I usually hate EJ's schemes, I actually feel bad for him right now. He is carrying this massive burden, and he is watching his son suffer. And he knows that any move he makes is going to end in disaster. And you know who else is suffering right now? Abe Carver. Because Abe is caught right in the middle of this Lexie and Paulina mess. He is trying to be there for Paulina while she deals with Chanel's cancer. But his dead wife is suddenly alive again and living in his house. And Lexie just found out that Abe and Paulina celebrated their anniversary at the Juneteenth festival. So Abe is dealing with 2 furious wives. And Lexie is getting sicker by the minute. The whole Carver family is just falling apart. And it all traces back to EJ and his stupid obsession with playing God with Rolf serums. When are the people in Salem going to learn? You cannot trust Dr. Rolf. His inventions always blow up in your face. But let's take a breath, because amidst all this chaos and all this screaming and crying, the show actually gave us a really beautiful, quiet moment. And I am so grateful for it, because I needed a break from the DiMera madness. Over in another part of town, we get this scene with Julie Williams and Marlena Evans. And it is just, wow. Grab your tissues, guys. Because these 2 women sit down together, and they just talk. They talk about the massive, unfillable holes in their lives. Julie talking about Doug. Marlena talking about John. These are 2 of the greatest love stories in the history of soap operas. And both of these men are gone. And the grief is just so raw. But the writers did something really smart here. They didn't just make it a depressing sob fest. They injected so much humanity into it. Because Julie and Marlena are sharing these memories. And they start laughing. They are finding humor in the pain. Remembering the silly things their husbands used to do. The little arguments. The inside jokes. It is so incredibly touching to see these 2 strong, resilient matriarchs leaning on each other. They have survived serial killers and kidnappings and demonic possessions. But surviving the loss of the love of your life, that is the hardest battle of all. And seeing them share that pain and share those laughs, it just gives the show so much soul. It reminds us why we watch. We don't just watch for the crazy sci-fi plots and the evil twins. We watch for the characters. We watch for the history. And Julie and Marlena sitting together, sharing a laugh through their tears, is just pure Days of Our Lives magic. So yeah, that is what we are looking at for Monday. A total emotional roller coaster. We have EJ trying to seduce a spy. We have Chad and Belle hunting down Stefano's ghost. We have Paulina accidentally trying to poison her own daughter with a lethal DiMera drug. And we have Julie and Marlena breaking our hearts into a million pieces. I don't even know how I am going to survive the rest of the week if Monday is this intense. But you know I will be watching. And you know I will be right back here ranting about it. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think Cat is going to sleep with EJ? Do you think Johnny is going to figure out the truth about the serum? And please tell me I wasn't the only one crying during that Marlena and Julie scene. See you guys next time.